JJ Aldrich versus Gillian Robertson. This is going to be a classic tale of striker versus grappler. And I think it's going to come down to JJ's ability to throw a bit more volume. I think when you look at the Priscilla Cocheda fight, Gillian was able to walk those punches pretty easily because Priscilla tends to throw wildly and more so just big hooks, things like that. With JJ, I really believe if she utilizes the 1-2 style, you can't be throwing kicks. You really need to just be playing the length game with Gillian. I think she has an opportunity to win a big fight. With Gillian, we've seen her, pretty active on the grappling scene. She's starting to really get some exposure right now. And, being so close to Dean Thomas, I think, is one of those things that has helped her just have a consistent, mentor and coach for such a long period of time. And Dean Thomas himself is kind of growing in that light as well. So kind of hand in hand, you're seeing Gillian improve in such big ways. You talk about the striking deficiencies. I mean, in that Priscilla fight, where she should have probably been a bit more, on the, breaks, if you will, just to avoid those big power shots. I mean, she was confident as hell going in there. And if you notice, the one area that Gillian's getting a lot better at, and I mean, I would preach this for anyone who's just trying to get better at striking, it's the footwork. It allows you to just avoid more punches. You don't even need to learn to throw that many more. You just have to learn how to avoid more so you can kind of stay fresh, stay healthy, and keep pursuing your game plan over 3 rounds. Obviously giving it up when you need to, but I think that's where you saw her find success in that Priscilla Cocheda fight because it was footwork, avoid those big strikes, keep trying. I mean, it might look bad, some of those entries, but those are, BJJ 101 style entries in MMA, and I think that she was getting closer and closer and closer, and slowly but surely, despite the eye pokes and things like that, she gets a big finish in the first round. So I am very impressed with Gillian's improvement, and the girl's 26 years old. Can you believe that Gillian Robertson is only 26 years old? When it's all said and done, I mean, I'm very curious to see where she stands as an all-timer because she's already seeing records, and we've got fighters like that who, I'm not going to jinx her, so with or without the gold, it's like, can that career be so astounding that, we're going to remember them forever? I mean, there's an opportunity there, and looking at JJ, this is just a game plan thing. I do foreshadow a huge career for Gillian in the UFC, and that's without a question. But stylistically, JJ has the ability to really do some damage here. Her cardio is phenomenal. I don't see her taking a lot of damage in this fight. And you look at her last fight against Vanessa Demopoulos. I mean, she had to take on a fighter who has a very similar game plan as Gillian, and I think she looked really good in that fight. She avoided any of those dangerous areas, mind you. I think Gillian's I think there's a lot that separates Vanessa and Gillian. So for me, I am leaning JJ. I do think that, from a striking volume perspective and how you want to keep Gillian at bay, I think that there should be some bump for her as a Vegas favorite. I mean, I still think Gillian as a submission victory is a huge prop to consider depending on the line. But let's take a look here. I do think JJ at minus 120 makes the most sense. And, I mean, it could lead into a pick'em for sure. So let's take a look. I mean, it's very, like we said, I mean, if there's a line that's ever going to prove that the MMA pick'em range kind of, tends to be a lot larger. I mean, Gillian opens the minus 140. Some places still have her as high as a minus 160. JJ's a plus 120 opener. And I mean, some places even have this as a pick'em with JJ as a minus 105. So, I mean, if you're looking for value, JJ at plus 125 right now seems to be the way to go. I mean, JJ to win that striking decision or even just striking. I mean, that plus 125 line coupled with potential a sprinkle on Gillian's submission prop could be a huge opportunity there. I think it's a fun fight, and it's going to showcase what both girls can do.